Hey everybody, David Lewis here at AW Papers. Today we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about the IC split application. It's a great little tool that lets you use these small, inexpensive printers to do these really super-sized designs. The one we're working with today is actually the little Canon 8.5 by 11 printer. We printed this design on just these two sheets. Let's show you how this works. So we start off by going in with the IC split application. From here we can take our image and we can just simply drag and drop it onto the page. Once we've done that, the image will load into the application and we're ready to start work with it. So let's begin by dragging this one in and dropping it on the page. So here we've got, a really tall design that we want to print onto these 8.5 by 11 sheets. So the first thing that we need to do is to get an idea of how we're actually going to work with this. As you can see, when this design loads, it comes in with this really large size to it. So we want to sort of get a sense of where we're going to put this and how we're going to split it up. Well, first thing is, since we're working with the 8.5 by 11 sheet size, we're going to have to rotate this page over so that we can get, two sheets to print with. Then our sheets that we're printing with are 11-inch sheets, so we're going to have to resize the image so that our height falls more into a printable size. So we just click on that height and then we can enter in the 10.5 inches, which gives us a little margin that we can work with. And now we can see that our total image size is about 15 inches wide and 11 inches tall. Or when we rotate that up, it'll be 11 by 16 overall size. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to start adding in some of the pages. So this is the link that we click that lets us select from this pop down which page sizes we want to work with. We're going to be putting in 8.5 by 11 sheets on this, and we're going to work with two of them. So we'll add one on the left, we'll come back and click here, and we'll add another one on the right hand side. Now the key thing is that we've got this zone right down the middle where we're going to be doing the split. This is where the overlap is, and inside of this overlap is where the application is going to be looking for ways to split it. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to kind of pull these pages in so that we've got this zone in the center that we can traverse down. We want to be able to work right in through, all of these areas and split the design. So this is where we move the left page over, we move the right page over to give us the zone where we can get right in here and split. So once we have that positioned, and we can see, a nice path that we can get through the design, you want to think about how the application is going to do that. Then we're ready to do the actual split function itself. So we can see there we've got a nice path through in and around everything. So we tell it to split. The application analyzes it and does the splitting. Now we've got a couple of options here. You've got dark garment, but dark garment says that we're going to cut through black. It means we're not going to print black, but in this case we are printing black. Then we have the light garment option, which says we're going to treat white as transparent. There's no white in this. So we want to use this third option here, which tells it to just split everywhere that there is transparency to the best that you can. And if there's not transparency, then to find a nice edge that you can split through. This simple design is one that has a lot of transparency, so we're able to really go through and cut all the way around like we have. Now once we've split this design, we want to save this as a PDF file. Here we have it here. So we simply open up this PDF file and we've got our two pages. These are 8.5 by 11 page sizes, as you can see down in the corner down here. And you can see how, we have the design, split up. And there's this little element right here. See, this is part of that little ball, and that is what we can use as a reference point when we're ready to print this. We're printing this to the little Canon printer, that little $80 Canon printer. We want to print it as actual size so that we fill up the page. We're going to get the most bang for the buck doing it this way. As always, when we're working with this Canon printer, we want to go into our properties and we want to go over and find the density options. And here we go, set the density. We want to select the option for the maximum toner density here, and then set that up to full toner. So this is going to give us the blackest black, the most toner in the design that we can work with. This is a positive right reading image, so we're going to print this on the B paper so that we can transfer that over to the LaserDark A sheets and not have to worry about trying to mirror it in the application. So here's our printer. These come out really nice and rich black out of the printer. Gives us a nice looking, and see, it's all right reading, so I don't have to do any kind of reversing or anything like that. We're ready to put it together. So now we're ready to press these. We can press both of these on a regular 16 by 20 sheet, but we want to make sure that we've got a corner down at the bottom so that when we go to peel this, when we're grabbing this, we can grab this corner in both cases to get a peel that we need. Covering this with our parchment sheet, pressing it at about 300 degrees, medium high pressure. We're going to run this for a full 120 seconds, as you can see here. 120 seconds, medium high pressure, and then a hot peel. So we're going to start right down here, and we're going to peel this one first. We're going to keep this sheet over the top of this one so that this stays nice and hot the entire time that we're peeling from here. We peel this nice and easy, especially careful about these edges so that we're not pulling it too hard, causing them to kind of jerk. So this is all still hot. We just come in and grab that edge and start peeling it. So we're doing both sheets in the same time that it would take to do an 11 by 17 sheet. So there's no production loss with this hardly at all. And it gives us the opportunity to use these small printers and really get some real bang for the buck out of them. All right, so we've got these two sheets ready. As always, we're going to trim the edges. You see the little bits of the white adhesive that sticks around those edges. Now production. This is the real critical part about this. What we want to do is we want to press this garment and get it nice and flat and get all the wrinkles out of it. Then we take both of these sheets and we put them down so that we can get our positioning on the garment, and then we leave one of them in place. We cover this, and we're pressing this now medium light pressure. We're not even pushing it all the way down. We're just kind of bouncing this, down till it's got a medium heavy pressure. About 15 seconds is all it takes. This gives us the ability to stick this onto the shirt without having to really press it down deep into the garment. We want the design to sit up on the shirt until everything is finished, and then we're going to marry it all together. It's cold, tight roll. We want to tightly roll this away. This is a real important aspect of any time that you're working with this media, is that you do this tight roll so that it shears the transfer sheet away from the toner that's down on the shirt. And when you do it this way, you get nice results virtually every time. So this is absolutely the key to doing this anytime. So here you can see, we're using this as our kind of a reference point. So we've put this back on this little piece, and then we're checking the distances, down in here and up in here to make sure. Now, we've put down a separate sheet to kind of balance out the edges, and then we've covered them both with the parchment sheet, and again, this nice light pressure. So this sheet was put down to protect this edge right here, protect that edge, so that we have kind of the same height on both sides. Very important to do that. Again, cool it off completely in a very tight roll. And you can see, this part up here, of course, it's covered with the parchment sheet. It has, its finishing press, and then this is all the glossy part that hasn't. But this is fine. If we were doing this as a regular design, we would come back and press this again to get this same look throughout the entire design. But in the case of this, we're actually going to come back with hot stamping foil over everything to give it the final design appearance. So here's our hot stamping foil. And we've got, you can see we've got that full 16-inch design, put up onto the garment. So we cover that with a full sheet of the stamping foil. We cover it with the parchment paper. Now, heavy pressure. We turn that crank all the way over to give it a heavy pressure setting. And then we're going to do this for the full 30 seconds. So 30 seconds, high pressure, really presses everything in, presses that hot stamping foil down into the design. And you can see, we've got you can see the imprint where the design is already pressed in. Again, a cold peel. So we want to let this cool off, and then a nice reveal. It's pretty cool looking, isn't it? Yeah, it's got that nice tone to it. And this was printed again, 2 8.5 by 11 sheets of the LaserDark the LaserDark media with hot stamping foil to add this, the silver. It's about a 11 by 16 inch design. Beautiful. Thanks for your time.